Hi, and thanks for tuning in. My name is Tony Zeoli, and I'm founder of Netmix.com, the host of the radio station for WordPress plugin that is becoming even more popular today than it was since we took it over in June of 2019, and we're really excited about that. I just wanted to jump on a quick video to introduce myself, talk a little bit about what we're doing at Netmix with radio station, and just to kind of give you a little overview. I think it's a little bit better sometimes to talk through a video so you can get to know the people behind the magic, so to speak, instead of doing these blog posts, which is all text, right? And that way you can see like who is working on this project and what their voice sounds like, what their intonations are. And I think that's really important, right, today, because we do a lot of blogging, a lot of social media, but it's, good to get a video out there from time to time and just show our user base, who we are and what we're doing. So let's just dive into what's going on with Netmix and, where we come from and where we're going. So, how this all started was I was working for, or volunteering, I should say, for a small nonprofit LPFM station here in Asheville, WPVM, and I was doing a house music mix show because I've been a house music DJ for many years, and we have the Asheville House Music Society that my crew and I produce, and I was helping the station with their website, and I was deep diving into it, looking around, seeing what they were using, what plugins, what theme, these kinds of things. And I came across radio station, and I said, oh, it's interesting. That's how they're doing the schedule. Let me look into it. So I looked into it and saw, that it was a fairly decent system, but that there were some issues with the plugin that needed to be addressed. Specifically, one was working with page builders, right? Because where I had installed the plugin and I was trying to use Divi to update the radio station's theme and website, it wasn't functioning correctly with Divi for some reason. So I ended up, as I was looking around, I went to the WordPress.org page for the plugin, and I saw that Nikki Blight was a developer, and so I was curious, to see what she was doing with it, if she's going to update it, because it hadn't been updated since 2015. I remember this is June 2019. And so I said, hey, Nikki, I wrote her a note, couldn't get in touch with her by email, found her on Facebook, connected with her on Facebook Messenger, which was great. We chit-chatted about the plugin, and then she just offered it out there and said, would you like to take it over? Because I got a job in 2015, and that's really what I've been focused on for the last few years. Radio station hasn't been a priority, and so if you are interested, I'm looking for somebody to take it over. And really, honestly, without a plan, I said, sure, I'll take that. I'll take it over. I've been an entrepreneur most of my life. Netmix was one of the first online music services back in the 90s that I had grown organically, and then sold to another company in .com 1.0, and then that went away, and I hadn't really been doing anything with Netmix for the last 18 or 19 years. Yeah, here or there trying to blog or whatever, but nothing substantial. And I said, oh, I could marry Netmix with radio station and, do something with it, because I used to work in radio. I've worked in streaming radio for many years, and I've always had a love and a passion for radio and radio-like programming. So I thought this would be a unique opportunity for me to take over a plugin in WordPress, as I had also been doing digital strategy work, which is my web development business. But I said, I know the guys from All-in-One SEO, and I know some people from Gravity Forms, and I've known people who have gone from web development to plugin development and seen their success, and thought, maybe I can emulate that success, and maybe that could be my core business, and I could leave kind of the digital strategy, the web development behind, and move more into product as a service, right? So Nikki, granted me keys to the car on WordPress.org, and I took it over with no specific plan, but I knew, given all my history and background in digital media and what I've done in the past, that I could kind of put together a team and put together the ideas that would facilitate us moving the project forward. So I reached out to the WordPress community, and I came across a developer in Australia, Tony Hayes, who has since become my development partner, and he's going to become shareholder in the company as we grow. And he and I got to talking about radio station, and he had used it for some projects that he had worked on in Australia, and so we said, let's see if we can work together and work something out. And over the last year, we've been working together and advancing the plugin such that it's really come a long way. And the people that are starting to use it are really giving us great feedback on our reviews section on the WordPress.org forum, which we hope you'll do, and have been leaving feature requests for us on our GitHub, have been asking us for support on our WordPress.org support channel. So all those things, and the active install base of 1,000 plus users, as well as all those people who have opted into our email newsletter, and it's been on over 230 in just about 6 months since we added the email newsletter feature to the plugin. It's really telling us that people really need this plugin as a service, and they're really looking forward to seeing what the plugin can do for them and how it can advance their WordPress websites for the radio stations they either work for or own, or helping out, right? Whether they're nonprofits, whether they're full-time, professional commercial stations, or whether they're LPFMs, or whatever have you, or college stations. There's people all over the world using radio station right now, and we're happy to know that the plugin actually had already a few translations, and we're surely looking for more translations, especially Chinese, Middle East, Africa, any different popular languages on the Africa continent, Portuguese, Brazil, any kind of Spanish translations would be helpful. That would be awesome, right? For us to really move this plugin forward. And India, of course, any of the major languages, dialects in India. So that's where we've come from, and we've been working hard on advancing the plugin, building out a new format for show pages, which you can see a really top-down. It's all redesigned and re-engineered so it fits better in page builders, and it works efficiently with those tools, or it just works out of the box for you on a regular WordPress theme, right? And then we've also advanced some things on the back end. We've added a settings panel. We've added the ability to show whether you want to show tabbed, whether you want to show grid, whether you want to show list format. You can just select that instead of using shortcodes. But the shortcodes are out there, and we also have filters out there for you to use. So there are all kinds of new tools within the plugin, and I think the show pages are really really well done now, a lot better than they were. For example, the station that I was working for, one of the DJs was using a show page description to add all of their episodes, and that show page description became so long that it pushed the post and playlist down the page, so far down that nobody would ever see them, and nobody seemed to be using posts. Some people were using playlists, but not really understanding how to assign them to show pages. So what we did was we concatenated or collapsed that show description into a small section with a read more link that would just drop down your show description, so people will always see the new tabs for posts and playlists, which are toggleable instead of on top of each other, right? And so that you could see in one section, tab, and toggle between the two, just underneath the description. And I wish I could show you this online, but I'm not. I'm using the YouTube Studio Creator and not using editor for this broadcast for now. So that just advanced the show page generator a great deal. And then on the back end, we made things drag and droppable, so it was easier to set your show schedule. And we also created a show conflict catcher, which was Tony's idea, and that's really worked out amazingly. Now you can see the conflicts and you can fix them instead of having to look for them through every show page through the edit, go in, go to the show page, go to the edit view, look for your entries, figure out which one was the conflicting one, change it. But now we're showing you a list of all your conflicts and giving you links to then fix those, right? And we're giving color coding to things that conflict as well. So there is a lot of new advancements in the ideation just behind creating a show schedule. We're also, like I said, added new shortcodes, supporting legacy shortcodes, added filters for different features that we have heard that users need but aren't yet something that everyone needs. So we just added it as a filter so you could just use it and apply it in your functions.php file. And that way you could render it on your own and deal with the CS and HTML if you needed to. But just given that you needed that feature, we thought we'd add, those filters, right? So those are all the things that we've been doing in free for the last year. Like I said, I took it over in June 2019. We started developing in August 2019 when Tony and I were talking, and now, like I said, we've advanced it. It's a year now, and we've got a really great thing going. And I think if you have a radio station or you're thinking about, putting up a website for a radio station, I think that our plugin is really going to help you drive user engagement to your shows, to your content, and these kinds of things. And that speaks to the future of radio station. And so what we're trying to do with the future of radio station is give you more tools. For example, we're going to be adding a sticky footer player. We're going to be adding additional pages for show hosts and DJs. So when you click on a host DJ name, they have their own pages on the site as well as show pages. We're going to be adding schema markup around episodes, which we're adding. So not only will we have shows, but you'll have episodes. And then we'll probably introduce segments sometime later this year or next year, where you'll have shows, episodes, and segments. And that really speaks to the future of radio station, which we think is going to be a critical tool for SEO for your WordPress radio station website, right? And that's going to be a critical inflection point for users to look for content on your site, find that content because it's wrapped in schema tags and it's all brought back to your website instead of aggregators or whatever have you, and then they'll engage with your site, possibly sign up for your newsletter, look at your advertising, these sorts of things, and make your website, A, more engaging, B, driving more traffic, and C, more searchable. And, as we all prepare or are starting to integrate with audio, with we have text search, but now we have a lot of audio, audio triggered search where you're using your voice activated. So for voice activated search, your website should be more well prepared using radio station for voice activated search because you'll be able to float in voice activated search, shows, show times, even clips or whatever have you for your station, and people will be able to play those back right in their voice activated search device, whether it's their phone, whether it's Alexa for the tabletop, or whether it's a laptop or whatever have you. Someone could say, find on Netmix, station, find show X on this station that played this thing on that day or had this, interview with that artist, or recording artist or actor or whatever have you. And one of the things that we want to do in the future is not be so music specific, but also incorporate news and journalism features because, and more talk oriented features because we think that a lot of talk stations and news stations are going to use radio stations as well for scheduling, and we want to float that content as well in the proprietary way that, or the proper way, I should say, not proprietary, but the proper way that it should be displayed, right? In addition to that, journalism stuff and news-oriented stuff. We have the playlist creator. We're also going to be working with some open source platforms to see if we can integrate with some open source radio station automation software packages to then push their show schedule data into WordPress through radio station. So those will be add-ons, and then we'll have our pro version, which some of the things I'm talking about here, and all that's coming to a head as we go. But at the end of the day, the plugin is still free. Most of the features are going to be free. Most of the the highly used features are going to be free. But we're going to add some things to Pro. The schema.org tags will be in Pro. We're going to have a player in free for a widget player and a show page player, but we're also going to add a sticky footer player for Pro. And we're going to be adding some of those additional pages in Pro that you're going to need for show host, DJ, whatever have you, when somebody clicks on their name to show their content and things that are related to them as well. So that's really what we're working on here at Netmix and Radio Station. We welcome your thoughts and contributions. If you're a developer and you want to contribute to Radio Station, please join us on our GitHub page, github.com/netmix/radio-station. If you're a user and you need support, go to wordpress.org /plugins/radio-station, and you can find our support forum there. If you want to send us a feature or a bug, go to our GitHub as well. And we're always open to new ideas, new concepts. People are asking us all the time to add things, and we might add it as a filter or a feature, depending on how how big the idea is, on how many people might be able to use it. So we hope you enjoy using the plugin and that you'll review us on WordPress.org, because that's really important for us to increase user adoption. Is that people love to read high quality reviews on WordPress.org. And obviously share our site and our information out to your radio station friends and clients or whatever have you, and let them know about us. One of the things before I go, I think that we're going to really try to do too, is get into not just a 7-day calendar, but get into GCal-like, calendar, so you can schedule shows out 2, 3, 4, 5 months in advance and then change those. That's a really big job, and we're looking to do some of that next year, but that's something that's on our agenda as well. So once again, my name is Tony Zeoli. You can find out more about me at tonyzeoli.com. You can look me up on LinkedIn as Tony Zeoli, and I have a pretty robust LinkedIn profile. And we're out there. I also have Digital Strategy Works, which is my web development company, and so we're doing a lot of digital strategy for our local clients here in Asheville, North Carolina, where I live, as well as around the country. So thanks for taking some time to watch this video. We're glad it wasn't this long blog post that you would have to sit down and read. You can just save this video and share it, or watch it again at your leisure and get all that information, hopefully, that I was able to share for you or with you, that will help you use Radio Station today and in the future. So we'll see you soon.